Hi and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and we are in that week or that WIP and Waffle where I don't have, well, I'm not yet working on a large painting, so we're going to do one of my PaintGem minis. I'm still working on the retro set. I have started putting them away in my book as I go, but I do still have a few left to do. And my next one is this sort of Ghetto Blaster tape set. What is it that we've called this one? Let's have a look. We've called, well, this one we've actually called Cassette. But it's more of a player than anything else. So let's zoom in and get started while I catch you all up. So I am due to, or the video is due to go up of me kitting up a large round painting, letting my app decide which one, and that is due on Tuesday. So we will work on that painting for next week's WIP and Waffle. But in the meantime, I'm going to do one of these. I have actually filmed the kitting up video. I've been getting a little bit of filming done this week. Caris has been at home. She starts her new job next week. So while she's been home, I have a hairdresser's appointment, or I would have done yesterday. So I've been trying to make sure that I get some videos done this week ready, because it is launch weekend. So thank you so much to everybody who has purchased from launch. I really don't like filming my WIP and Waffle early on launch weekend. I much prefer to film it on a Saturday when launch has happened and I know how it's gone. But because of my hairdresser's appointment, I'm actually filming this on Friday. So prior to launch, it is launch this evening. I've already done a lot of prep. I actually did prep a couple of weeks ago to make sure that everything was as ready as it can be, or at least a huge way ready. And yeah, because I have a hairdresser's appointment on Saturday, which I hate having them on a Saturday. I don't know if anybody else is the same. If you get used to a time when you normally have it done. So my hairdresser only works Wednesday and Saturdays, and I normally have a Wednesday evening. That's when I go. I much prefer going on a Wednesday evening to a Saturday daytime, because I feel like my whole Saturday is gone, whereas when I have it on a Wednesday evening, I've still got my Wednesday day to do all the usual shop stuff, cleaning the house that happens on a Wednesday, all that sort of stuff. And then I go get my hair done. And it's nice. But she didn't have any appointments for when I was due for the Wednesday, which is not normal. But yeah, so I had to throw a Saturday appointment in, which makes me feel like the whole day is gone on getting my hair done. Doesn't help that the appointment is at just gone 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, you know, pottering bits in the morning, but not really anything substantial. And then slap bang in the middle of the day, I need to go get my hair done. And then by the time I get back home, it'll pretty much be evening, or at least as good as. So yeah, I've had to change things up a little bit this week. YouTube has been extremely slow in uploading things. It's actually currently uploading a video for me now that I filmed yesterday. Yeah, so it's been extremely slow, so I thought let's not try and fit in a WIP and Waffle on Sunday morning and something go wrong, especially when I'd rather spend Sunday prepping for launch, so that come Monday when I start packing, everything is smooth. Because while I do a lot of prep before launch, there are often things that just need a little bit more prep due to the volume of orders, just to make sure that things are ready. Things like making sure there's enough cover paper prepared, the limited. I've done a batch, but I probably will need to do some more. Logbook inserts, things like that can end up sales. Depending on the sales of those, depends on if I need to prep even more of those. Things like that. So that's what I will be doing Sunday, or today, as you're watching this. So yeah, I feel a little bit out of sync, but I have kitted up my large round painting, so the decision wheel has chosen. However, what I'm gonna do, I've completed a little bit of walking in the rain this week, but I've not had chance to complete as much as I did the week before, just due to the way life has gone this week. So my plan is, even though I have kitted up my next painting, I'm not actually gonna start working on it until the video goes up on Tuesday. So that's Tuesday evening. If I'm able to diamond paint Tuesday evening, will be the first time that I work on that painting. And then we'll do some in the WIP and Waffle, see how far I've got. It's a round, so I should be able to get through it a little bit quicker. But that will give me maybe a couple of evenings to do a little bit more on walking in the rain, so there'll be a little bit more of a update between videos. I also, the first video I did this week while Caris was about was I have done a stash video, so it has been requested. The only one that's not included in it is Supernova. I unboxed Supernova. The video was not due to go up until this Friday. However, my fan sales order with my fan sales Friday items has had a little bit of a stick in the airport. It is now back on track, so I'm expecting it to arrive on Monday. But of course, it's too late for me to have done fan sales Friday for today, or for today as I'm filming. So I had to shuffle Supernova about and actually bring it forward a week. So it's not in my stash video because I didn't think I'd have unboxed it yet. But there's a reason, there will be an unboxing already up if you want to see that one. But yeah, I decided to open all of the canvases. So all the canvases were taken out of their boxes. And I show you what's in my stash by showing you all my large canvases. So stay tuned for that video for tomorrow. That was a little bit epic, should we say. That was, I had boxes and canvases and things all over my craft room. I was able to lay my drafting table down, lay it flat so that I could at least pile everything on there, but it definitely got a little bit chaotic. But it's a fun video. It's fun to see everything that I currently have in my stash. Whether you're new to the channel or not, it's a little refresher of what I am currently working with, and what paintings you could see kitted up over the next year. But yeah, it was definitely fun to do, should we say. I'm just working with my pen and tray that I put aside. I've got in my little PaintGem mini case for retro. I think this glue dot might need replacing soon though. It's holding up so far, but it keeps having moments just like that. Hence example where I end up dropping a diamond on its way to the canvas. But yeah, I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody is having an awesome weekend, whatever that may be. I have my hair done, or I will have by the time you watch this. General maintenance on myself has been completed. Right, I work on my PaintGem mini numbers a little bit different. So I go for the bottom left. This is often how I work on PaintGem minis. I go for the bottom left and I do that one, but then I do all the rest of the colours in that strip. Now that strip has been done, I'm going to go again to the bottom left and I'm going to do this W, but then I'll do any of these symbols, these other symbols that are in here as well, while I've got this row of diamonds out. But anyway, let's go to some comments. So these are comments from last week. Purple Tiger, when he got finished. He will be de-kitted next week. I've de-kit Field of Memories recently, and I wanted to prioritise showing you guys my stash and kitting up my large round painting. So because of that, Purple Tiger will get de-kitted next week, but he will get tidied up. He's currently still sat on my shelf as a to-do video. Sharon says Purple Tiger is looking beautiful, isn't he/she? Purple Tiger is stunning. It's been in my stash for so long, and it's so nice to do some that have been in my stash for a while. I'm really looking forward to mixing in large and smaller diamond paintings and sort of working on one at a time, and seeing how many I can get through this year. There is no way I'm going to get through all my stash, and you'll see why in the video tomorrow, but I am hoping to make at least a dint in it, and I do feel like I'm getting somewhere this year. Maybe it's because, you know, I'm more focused on things, but even walking in the rain, even though I've not got much done this week, I feel like that's had a bit of a nice kick to get going, because I've been working on it while waiting to kit up my round painting. So yeah, I feel like that's had a nice shove in the right direction with, you know, and then it will go back to slow and steady until I've finished the round, which I actually don't think will take that long. Might give you a bit of a hint as to which one I ended up, or the decision wheel ended up choosing, but it's not going to take me that long to actually get that one finished, I don't think. Again, time dependent, all depends on how much time I actually get to diamond paint, as with anything. But if life doesn't throw a hiccup in the way, then we should be good. The Dark Light says yes to the dragon cover paper. It's the year of the dragon this year. Well, that's definitely on our list as a wanted. So we will be trying to see what we can do in relation to cover paper. We have so many designs, it's unreal. But yeah, we'll see if we can find a nice dragon cover paper design. Sharon says, PS, she loves the June waffle. She looks forward to it each day. Oh, I love the waffle months. I really do. It's not something I can keep up all year, but I really, really enjoy both December and June. And just the catch up, the progress people make on things they're working on. And I'm really looking forward to June as well, because it should be nicer weather. We did have a really, really nice day here in the UK on Wednesday. I mean, I say the UK, okay. We did here where I live in the northwest. Yeah, we had an absolutely great, bright day. It was my cleaning day. Felt like I could leave the doors open for a bit, get some nice fresh air flowing through. And then come Thursday, a cold snap comes in. We're in a valley, so it takes a lot for it to snow here. We got some sleet. We didn't actually get any snow that stuck. But Thursday morning, it absolutely threw it down. So even if we did get full-on snow and not sleet, there wasn't a huge chance of it sticking. But yeah, it's gone cold, and I'm kind of not liking it. I'd like signs of spring, please. Kaz says, this past week has been stressful. She's found out that her blood count was very low. So she needed 2 units of blood and an iron transfusion on Wednesday. Oh my goodness me. She says the next day she spent 12 hours in the emergency room as her mum was not well. She said she's on the ward having treatment for a foot infection. Goodness me, you're not having the right year, are you at all, Kaz? I think you're done with things going a little bit awry now. I think you're due to have a nice rest of the year, but take care of you and yours for sure. Bev says she is currently doing a cover paper section a day on The Last Day by Hafsa Idris from Diamond Art Studio UK. She's done 7 as of today, as she's typing this, which was the 4th of Feb, so last Sunday. She said, and then in the evening, she's working through her 30 by 40s that she got from Amazon when she first started and didn't know anything about things like copyright and premium companies. Right at the beginning, when we were, depending on how long you've been diamond painting, we were actually very limited on diamond paintings that we could get hold of quite a few years ago. She said, as the Diamond Art Studio is a 50 by 70 and squares, and the smaller ones are in round, she said it's quite a nice contrast. She's enjoyed watching Purple Tiger come to life. She said he's absolutely stunning. He is a stunner. He's a beautiful diamond painting. And he will be going on to his new home very soon. He's all ready to go. I've taken the picture for my logbook, etc. So that's all been done and is ready. I just need to dekit him. Dekit the diamonds and showcase him, and then he can go on to his new home. Because he's very much loved, and I would rather he go to a very much loved home rather than a loved home here, but still go in a display book to be seen at some point. Just not as often as he probably will be in his new home. Oh, I do really need to change out this glue dot. I'm kind of determined to finish a few of these though. Shirley, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, we haven't got a craft room in their 1-bedroom ground floor flat. All of her diamond painting gear is near her, so like in her crate and cart / trolley, which is always close to her reach. And when she's finished her canvases, then her partner helps to put them on hangers and then put them in folders. He also helps to put the DMC numbers on the stickers, as her writing is so small and messy, but his is bigger and readable. She loves tigers, and her partner's fave colour is purple too. She said the painting is gorgeous though. Thank you. So nice when you have that extra bit of help, isn't it, from partners, just on the little things. It sort of makes you feel connected, even if they're not a diamond painter. It's nice to have that while you're completing projects, and they get to see where you're up to with projects and things as well, which is always good. My hubby does pay attention to a certain extent. Every now and then he surprises me with how much he has listened to my waffling about random stuff, or whether he's got it from me having a conversation with him or whether he's got it from having a look at one of my videos, who knows. But either way, yeah, it's nice to sort of know that there is that interest in your hobby. So that's always fun. Right, I'm going to change this glue dot. Bear with me. Okay, I thought I was going to change it, but then I've realised Caris is currently doing wedding invites for a friend of hers, and she needs some glue dots to stick on some like wax seal things she's doing. So I said to her, there's a couple of boxes in my craft room, and she's grabbed both, which is fine. I do have a couple of glue dots floating about in the bottom of these PaintGem mini cases. I always have a couple in there, so that if I do decide to sort of take my PaintGem minis away with me, I've always got the option to change the glue dot if I need to. But when I took the glue dot out, it's actually not that messy a glue dot. Like, it's not picked up loads of bits, it's not old. It just needed a bit of repositioning, so I've just taken it out and popped it back in. And it's picking up the diamonds a lot better already. So sometimes that's all you need to do, and it actually can work out quite well, because then you don't have the super stickiness of a new glue dot if you just take one out and put it back in. So I'll take that as a win today, because last week with a new glue dot I was fighting with it more than I wasn't. Okay, have I got all the 5s? Yes, there's a lot of 3s as well, which is what's confusing me, but we have 3s in this pot. So let's get the 3s in and make sure that we've definitely got all the 5s. So this one is a dark grey. Lady Dax, she says, stunning painting, Rebecca. She says she got some of the double-decker storage containers, but she actually didn't get on with them, so she gifted them in the end. She said she does agree with Blossom Chops, dragon cover papers would be great. I need to get hunting. I need to get hunting for some dragon, for some designs I can use for dragon cover paper. My initial quick search after the first comment didn't come up with anything viable, so I just need to spend a little bit more time on it. So as soon as I can squeeze in sort of a research time window, I will do. I often have lots of research time windows. It just varies what I'm researching and looking for at the time. So I'll make sure that dragon cover paper is on that list. Grey Legrand, she says she's hitting pause. She said Rebecca is waffling about the symbols in her section. She says when she starts a section, she says she's right-handed. She generally starts on the right-hand side and works towards the left so that her hand doesn't stick on the glue. See, I get the whole, so your hand doesn't stick on the glue, but I'm actually finding, even as I'm putting these down now that are next to a row that's already down, they're to the left of a row, to me that is my most awkward place to put a diamond. I'm fine if it's the only row and I'm sort of squeezing it in the middle because I can still come in from the right, but coming in from the left to put the diamond in, just to me that's more uncomfortable, which I think is why I start from the bottom left so that I can come at it this way. But I love the fact that we all do it different. It also helps newbies as well, because if one way isn't working for them, try another way. It could just be just that little simple thing that can often make diamond painting a little bit more enjoyable when you find what works for you. She says, but as she works through it, she does end up switching over to working on whatever symbol stands out the most, regardless of placement. She said it's fun. She says she's so focused on the section, she doesn't really see the other parts of the canvas. And when she finishes it, then she steps back and she's like, wow. I agree with that. You get so focused on the individual numbers, letters, whatever it is that, you know, of where you're placing the diamonds. And you can get so focused on that it isn't until you sort of finished and stepped back a little bit that you realise how pretty your picture can be looking, and how much work you've actually got completed on it. It's nice. She also says, yes, she does sometimes miss a symbol. She said, such is diamond painting life. I agree completely. The one I am least likely to miss a symbol on is a PaintGem, but I think that is because of how small the section is. It doesn't mean I don't. There are definitely still times that I do miss diamonds, especially the likes of that 3 and 5 that were very similar, but it's a lot rarer on a PaintGem Mini, because I'm forced to have a really small section, whereas quite often when I diamond paint in the evening I end up with a fairly big section. You may see that on Walking in the Rain. I did start to do some of Walking in the Rain last night, and I actually pulled off 3 sheets of cover paper, and then realised how late it was and didn't really get a huge amount done. So it was probably a bad idea to have pulled that many sheets of paper off. But hey ho, such is life. I've been able to cover it back up again, so that's not an issue. It's all covered up and protected from dust. But but I think I might be doing my WIP and Waffle on that today as well. So if I am, I'm not sure whether to just uncover one of the sections or whether to actually uncover all three. And while I won't finish the whole section, I will get, you know, a batch done during the video. And then I can finish it off and possibly get a couple more sections done over the weekend before I start on my round one. That's another reason I'm thinking of waiting on my round. So, yeah. Who knows? I'll make the decision when it's time. When it's time to make it. Nova Scotian Hiker. I was trying to break up those two diamonds, but that didn't work. She said, spring here in Nova Scotia, Canada. She said, oh, spring here in Nova Scotia, Canada seems so far away. Let's say that all in one breath. Makes more sense. She says they were having a lovely, relatively mild winter with little snow. She said, sadly, this weekend things changed drastically. She said temperatures remain much the same, which is -5 to 10 degrees Celsius. That's cold. That is definitely cold. She says, but the snow, oh, the snow. She says 5 feet of snow. That's pretty much as tall as me. So 5 feet of snow and it's still snowing. She says we're paying now for the mild winter when most of the rest of North America was freezing under a polar vortex. She says she'd still rather the snow than bitter cold, so she shall count her blessings. Sometimes I'd rather have snow than rain, though it depends. I think when you have the likes of 5 feet of snow in a country that's used to dealing with 5 feet of snow, it sort of is what it is. The problem is when we have snow, you'll be lucky if it's a centimetre of snow, which of course compacts really quickly and ends up as just ice. Like, you don't really get to see the actual snow for long. And that tends to be what we suffer with. Plus, we are not a country built for dealing with snow the same way Canada are. Gray Legrand says, my goodness, he's gorgeous. So glad you like him. He'll be on his way soon enough. That's for sure. Kim, she says it took 50 minutes, she says, for your glue dot to cooperate. She says your WIP and Waffle would probably have been shorter if that glue dot did not spend 50 minutes irritating you. She says, good job, glue dot. That glue dot did drive me absolutely batty. I get that when I've got a new glue dot in, it's going to be a little bit stickier, and I do expect it a little bit. But oh my goodness me, that one did test my patience. That's for sure. Right, have I got any of the other colours in this strip? I don't think I do. So this is the strip I'm on now. I've got no S, no R and no Q. So we'll move on to the letter L. This will actually get quite a bit done. Move on to the L and then I will fill in any of these, of which there are a few. This one's very similar colour to the tray. Pretty, pretty. Bobby. So Bobby says, next instalment of Bobby's Misadventures. So this is a story where we can all accept and sympathise, because I am sure it is something we have all done before. We've all done in the past at some point, or maybe if we haven't actually done it, we've maybe had a close call with it. We can all definitely feel for Bobby here. I know I can, that's for sure. She said she's got a laptop table with one end stationary and the other end tilts. Okay. Storage was on the stationary end, pillbox storage. She placed her arm on the stationary end and the end completely fell off. Storage goes flying. Ouch. She says she's got new storage ordered with screw top bottles before the mess was even cleaned up. She says, stay tuned. She says, because I do not get any more graceful. That is one of the huge benefits, and I think the reason it is such a popular storage, albeit there's different variants, is the screw top storage. Because any accidents I've had with diamonds going all over the place have been on the likes of these flip top lids, or something similar to that, whereas it's very rare that I have had an accident with the bottles. I may have had one that I've knocked in some way. Quite often it's when I'm kitting up or de-kitting, so you guys have probably seen all of those. But it's only one bottle. There's no mixing of anything. And I have had occasions where they've been dropped, but with lids on, and they have been perfectly fine. So there is a reason that the little screw bottle top storage seems to work so well. Is because it's foolproof for the accidental tumbles that are bound to happen at some point to pretty much all of us. So I completely sympathise, and I like the fact that you dealt with a solution before clean-up, because then you're not spending the time cleaning up thinking this could happen again. You're spending the time cleaning up thinking, I've stopped this from happening again. So once I've done this job, it's done. So much easier to get a job finished when you know you're not likely to have to do it again. So well done on getting some replacement storage straight away. Streaks Me says, Purple Tiger is gorgeous. She said tigers are her true love. She said she's not sure if she's said anything, but she has finished her patio. Okay, well, you can go there. She has finished patio with flowers. She loved working on it. She said she's a little bit over halfway with White Christmas. But she decided to take a little break on it and pull out her Heaven and Earth design. She says now that she's on the hunt for a canvas, she's found one at Jaded Gem Shop. Very nice poured glue on a princess type material. If that has arrived, do let me know what it's like if that has fully arrived and is with you. Because eventually I will need to be getting myself a poured glue canvas for my redo Heaven and Earth design, which will be my next Thursday project after walking in the rain. So I'm all up for recommendations for that one. She said her double-sided tape canvas is a wash. She says she's going to be pulling off loads and loads of drills to place on the new canvas when it arrives. She said her hubby thinks she's nuts for wanting to do this switch over. She's up for the task though, as she is only 8.1% into the design. Addicted to diamond painting, she said, I say yes. She said, have an amazing week. Oh, if you're only 8.10 or 8.10% into the design, I'm with you. Change it for a poured blue canvas. They make such a difference. Even on a lot of places that did double-sided canvas, a lot of them have seemed to switch to poured glue. Very much so. It definitely seems to be becoming the favoured way for diamond paintings, and they are so much nicer. And I actually like the fact that they come with the clear cover and you get to see the design before you're working on it. You know, you've always got the option of covering it up, as for example I do with cover paper, but it's always nice to be able to see the design and see the image, especially when I'm doing unboxing videos. It works very well. Susan, she says, hi Rebecca. She says, thank you for a lovely video. She says she sent me a message through Facebook Messenger to tell me about a tip/trick to help with the random forgotten symbols. Diamond painting frustration, she says, happen frequently. She says, she said she hopes I got it. She says, let me know if you didn't. She said Facebook Messenger is quirky. She says, hope you and everybody in this wonderful community have a lovely week from Canada. Susan, I actually haven't got that, or I haven't seen that message. I will try and go and have a hunt. I'm assuming that it's been sent to my Facebook, which is probably why I haven't seen it. My Facebook Messenger can definitely hide messages from me and definitely gets rather crazy. I do ask, if possible, if you can message the Add More Zest page, message that Facebook, because that one is a lot easier to manage. I did put a post in the group, but yeah, there's the sort of the way the business Facebook works compared to normal Facebook is so much easier to manage. You can actually, you know, keep hold of messages but class them as being done or completed, which allows, you know, the message to be there for reference, but it's not sort of in your inbox, I suppose. It's a bit more like an email inbox type thing. You can add flags and tags to things the same way you can with emails. You can file them the same way you can with emails. And all messages tend to come through. Facebook doesn't decide it needs to go here, there or everywhere, but not where you want it to go. So if possible, if you can message me on that one, then it will definitely be available for me. Plus, then if it's a tip and trick that I'm going to do in a video, I can actually like flag it and tag it for that and find it again. Whereas my personal messenger, there's a lot of group chats, different family group chats and things going on in various stages, and anytime there's a new event going on or a family occasion going on, there'd potentially be a new Facebook chat for that. and I even miss some of them. But yeah, my personal Facebook is very messy. So if you could send it to the shop one, it would be greatly appreciated, because I can actually deal with those ones a lot easier. Winter Heart, she says she's officially caught up with all my diamond painting videos now. Awesome. She says she's going to be starting the Laurel K. Hamilton Anita Blake series audiobooks to pass the time between uploads now. Oh, you get a nice little mix. Bit of audiobooks, bit of me waffling. Mix it all together. Sounds good. I haven't had much chance to listen to audiobooks recently, but hey ho. Brookie Z says the tiger is beautiful. She says she received her first order from me in the mail today. She says she got release papers, she got an Oops Zesty tray and the release papers wallets. She says she is loving all of it. She says, but she is wondering, will the release papers stay stuck good enough when rolling the canvas? She says as that's how she stores her paintings between sessions. She says she kind of wants to take all the film off and replace with release papers. She says, but that is something she's wondering before she does that. Our printed cover papers or release papers are thicker than the standard plain ones. They seem to do better at sort of keeping a fold and keeping a grip. However, I do find, because I often roll, especially when I've been working on multiple projects, that it's actually easier and seems to work better in general to just do 2 rows of cover paper, potentially 3, but I tend to stick to 2 rows of cover paper, and then trim your clear sheets, and they tend to roll up okay. With the lighter ones, the thinner ones, you can potentially have them pop a little bit, but I tend to find it's not too bad. And the thicker ones seem to roll better. They do keep the shape when you first take them off, but then you can sort of roll them back on themselves and they flatten out really nicely. So yeah, I recommend doing sort of 2 rows rather than the whole canvas, but it is hard to tell without sort of seeing how tight you roll it up and things in between and how big the canvas is. But try with 2 rows and see how you go, and then maybe try a 3rd and see how it works. If you can wrap your canvas round the likes of a piece of pipe langing or a pool noodle or something, that will also help, because it won't allow it to roll too tightly to cause any problems. April, she says, silent subscriber. She says she's recently started diamond painting again after a 2-month hiatus. She says now she's working through videos that she missed during those 2 months, along with finishing the 2 WIPs she has ongoing. Well, welcome back to diamond painting. Some days life does just take over, stop the flow. But yeah, welcome back to enjoying the relaxation that diamond painting does bring. I definitely feel better on days I've been able to diamond paint compared to days when I haven't, that's for sure. Stephanie, she says you should do Mystery March PaintGems with a sprinkle of her story. As much fun as that would be, I don't think I can fit in another month of WIP and Waffles. They take all my evenings, basically. They take my evenings, or at least however long the WIP and Waffle is, every evening. because it's not something that I can film in bulk at the weekend. Sort of doesn't work that way with WIP and Waffles. Plus, I might get a couple done at the weekend, but I couldn't get 7 done over the weekend. So yeah, they take a lot of time, and then of course the editing individually and the uploading individually instead of in bulk. So my sort of twice a year is pretty much my maximum. As much as I love them, I'm just too busy with the shop and advent prep and home life and everything else to be able to even fit them in the day, and do them in the daytime instead. So yeah, unfortunately I can't spare that many evenings for that many months. Beverly says her daughter loves Scooby-Doo. So when Diamond Art Club came out with the small Scooby-Doo paintings, she said she had to get just 2 at first, the 2 girls, Daphne and Velma, and after she's completed them, she will be getting Shaggy and Freddy. She said she already has a big Scooby on her wall, so she's just going to frame them around that one. I love it when diamond paintings come out that just speak to you. So much fun to do. Emily says she's actually ordered 2 sets of the Christmas Advent diamond painting. She says she treats them like PaintGem minis. She's cut them out so that they're all separate, and she's put them in her case to work on. She says she's been making them into cards for her dad, and she plans to do some each month of the year. She says when she gifts him a J.D. Robb book to add to the collection, she started him at Christmas of the In Death series. Oh, fantastic. Got somebody else hooked onto the In Death series. That's amazing. Love it. And then I think this is the last one. Jerry. She says, hi everyone. She says she is just now watching this WIP and Waffle. She said she left work early today as it's been storming, and she lives just at the snow line. She said she wanted to get home before the snow started to come down really heavy to avoid the idiots, she says, that cannot drive in the snow. Plus, she said she doesn't really want to put her cables on. So difficult to do on a low-sitting car. She said it was snowing a little bit this morning as she was leaving for work, so she did know that it was going to snow more today. They got about 4 inches of snow today, and she was glad that she was home before the brunt of it hit. She says she's been doing a lot of her kit-ups for the last week, and she now has a total of 8 kitted up, including walking in the rain. To commemorate the snow today. Sorry, I'm just finding my piece of card while I'm reading this last comment. She says to commemorate the snow today, she started working on city streets in the snow that she's had kitted up since the 3rd. She says she thought it was a fitting for a day like today. She says she doesn't even have 1 section completed. She hasn't even finished doing the first colour, she said, and she is loving this one already. She says she hopes everybody has a wonderful week. That is a beautiful one. I don't have city streets in the snow, but that is a really, really nice one. It's sort of the latest one, isn't it? But yeah, I do like that one. Very apt for today. Right, I put my PaintGem minis on my cards now as I finish them. They've already got double-sided tape on the back. So, oh, hang on. This one isn't cassette. This one's boombox. It's the Walkman that's down as cassette, because Walkman's a brand name. This one's the boombox. Everybody's probably been shouting at that at me since the beginning of this. But hey ho, let's put my easel down. So what I've done is, because there's quite a few that are orientated this way, I've put those at the back of my book, and then I put the upright ones at the front. So the idea is, when people are looking through, or when I'm looking through, once I get to the point of having one of these, I can turn the book and then still keep it in the same orientation through all the rest. It works for me. It's the small things. Oh, I only have 3 left to do in this set, and then I'll be moving on to doors. So let's pop all my bits back in that box. We'll see when I may or may not get any more of these done. I have my clipboard and my book, and that basically is my grab pot for PaintGem minis. But thank you all so much for joining me for today's WIP and Waffle. I hope you have had an amazing weekend, or are having one if there's still some of it left to go. Thank you all so much for your support with the shop launch. Even though I'm filming this before the launch has happened, going on past history and your guys' comments, I know the support will be amazing. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.